development of these plants. It starts out with a sprouting forth. And then we see the herb yielding seed. And the word here has to do with grass, or that which glistens, that which is green, something that has come to some degree of maturity. And now there is seeds within that, seeds that can be theoretically eaten, or seeds that could actually reproduce other life. This herb-yielding seed, a further progression of these plants. And then finally, the fruit tree yielding fruit. The word there for tree literally means wood, that which is firm, that which is strong. The greatest of the plants are the trees who are bringing forth fruit. And that fruit actually has seed in itself there, and that fruit. But often we think of fruit as that which can be eaten. And yet there's nobody there to eat it yet. There is only the creation of these things that are set forth that we read here. I believe that in that one day when God spoke, that a quick growing process began. And there was a sprouting, and there was a development, and there was a seeding, and there were trees that grew up and were bringing forth fruit, not over months or years, but all in one day. You say, how can that happen? Because God did it. Because God can do anything He wants. God could have simply said, let them be, and in a moment they could have all been there. But no, the way God did it was during that third day, those things began to sprout up out of the ground and develop and grow, such that by the end of the day, all of these things were present. I think it's interesting also to note there the reference, the terminology, after His kind. God created plant life after His kind. And the idea here, kind, is not necessarily, it's not technically corresponding to our word species with its technical scientific definition. The word kind simply means a sort, a type. That's all that it means. But the point is that in that third day, God created all types, all kinds of different plant life. He did that on that third day. He did that. It is not like evolutionists teach us. It is not like that at all. It all happened. God created from the beginning those things after their own kind. It started with a variety, whose seed is in itself, the Bible says. The idea here is that these plants now had the ability to self-reproduce. God could now use these plants to actually bring about other plants. He did not have to create new plants after them. No, the seed was already within them. There was an enabling, a capability for these plants now to reproduce other plants. That was part of God's creative work. And where was it done? Upon the earth. Upon the earth. You see, what about seaweed? When did God create seaweed? I don't know. I don't know. It just says here that on the third day upon the earth, God created these things. I could speculate and say, well, God created plant life under the sea at the same time. I can speculate that. Probably is the case, but it says it was on the earth that God created this. I think it's interesting to note that God is now moving in all sorts of directions. There's a further development here of things that are going on. The accomplishment is seen, and it was so. It happened. God told the earth to bring forth these things, and it happened. It was so. And it says there in verse 12, the beginning of verse 12, that the earth brought forth that grass, and the herb yielding seed, and the trees yielding fruit. All of those things happened, and it's repeated there. And the divine observation that is given. And God saw that it was good. Those plants that God had created were called by God good. A plant is a good thing. Oh, it really is. There's something amazing about a tree. I mean, to look at a tree and to see its strength is an awesome thing. It's so incredible